Dear friends in Dhamma, we are going to start the last Dhamma discussion. So we have received a couple of reports. So we will start the session with those written reports.
Avasara Bhante, we have received 6 reports today. Report number 1, Most Venerable Bhante. This morning meditation session, the mind got quiet quickly and without much of an effort. There was a profound clarity and tranquility. I noticed a pleasant fragrance at the tip of the nostril, but was merely aware of it. Was very careful not to get carried away. I could feel my limbs touching the cushions, but it was like the mind was cut off from the body. On and off, thoughts arose, but it was like a wisp of dust, and I was able to maintain awareness without proliferating on them. This state of mind was there for about 50 minutes. The fragrance at the tip of the nostril would change every now and then, but I did not get carried away with it. The limbs, body did not feel weightless as I have noticed something in some previous sessions, but was completely detached from the state of mind, as if there was no owner to them. Much gratitude and respect.
Yeah, good. So basically, so that's why sometimes we call it sammasana. Sammasana means that we are very much like observing someone else's phenomena. That's a parato. Those are different ways that we can define. So when we are considering the non-self characteristics, so one aspect of non-self is called parato. Parato means that it doesn't belong to me, it belongs to someone else. So you are looking at things like someone else's things. So body walks and you are like an outsider, you simply see how body walks. Maybe the body breathes and you simply look at it is very much like someone breathes. Similarly, as you have mentioned here, so various phenomena are there, you are completely disengaged and you can look at them objectively, and even they are going up and down, you don't have any sort of pre-desired preferences. So basically you simply allow these things to happen as they want, and you are quite detached and you are observing. So that is how we are slowly navigating this through, and that is how slowly the dispassion arises, detachment arises, and just keep going. I mean, there is nothing to add. So things are happening in the proper way. It's a matter of further continuation.
Please raise your hand if you need to further discuss.
Yeah.
This report has Sakmana and sitting, so I'll read separately. Sakmana, as per your valued instructions, more time was allocated for Sakmana. Until doing around 20 minutes of Sakman, keeping attention to the foot, saying left, right, I felt touching sand in foot from the toes to fingers, how weight transferred from one leg to another. Very difficult to keep the mind in one place. Lot of thinking and prapancha is there. Just after 40 minutes of time, felt some special situation. Head goes up and feel it may be in samadhi. Please clarify. Just after completing 1 hour, I was just sitting, looking. Nothing is getting, just looking. In my normal days, this can be experienced if Sakman was done around an hour in the morning. Need your instructions, please. Theruvan Saranai.
Yeah, may I know who has written that? Yeah. Yeah, I can remember that situation you were explaining to me during Nissarana retreat.
Yes.
So does that mean again the samadhi is getting overwhelmed, kind of taking control of the body?
No, it's not a problem. That's a normal situation.
Sorry?
Not like earlier.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Not like earlier. Now you can manage.
So concentration is there, but not so powerful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, comfortable.
But you have mentioned something that something regarding that. That's what I was wondering.
when about 40 minutes Sakman, I feel some different situation has come. It's like
40 minutes
I am
Sakman.
higher than normal, and looking how foods are changing the weights and going on.
Still, I mean, you can maintain your attention. There is no any kind of a sort of disturbance as such. No disturbance, but you can continue. So during the sitting, how it happens? Can you? Yeah.
Garu Swamin Wahansa, as you mentioned on first day Deshana, rain was stopped last night in my mind. No breathing, they are just seeing. But special things were there. Even it was fully dark in the kuti without electricity, there was some lighting, illumination was there. After closing eyes until opening the eyes, it looked like daylight under a tree. Felt that I was in a special place like a small workshop. Looked like in front of Loku Swamin Wahanse's kuti, lot of equipments are hanging around there. I felt that too more than half an hour I spent without the feeling of the breath, seeking instructions.
So here again, I mean, you can see different equipments?
Yes.
But your eyes are closed?
Yes. They are lighting also. The eyes are fully closed. All area is full dark. But I started after doing the Sakman. Till raining, I was.
That's okay.
Then started.
The thing is, again, it's in a kind of a concentration. That's okay. But I mean, even in sitting. But once there is no significant, arammana, kind of an object for the mind, it can create this kind of hallucinations, illusions, and all these kind of things. Sorry?
When I am sitting, I was in the room, but I feel
something else is there. So you need to ignore them. I mean, if you are giving any value to them, any importance to them, then it will, overpower you. It will take your attention.
Yeah. Another two also I saw some. One lady also in front of me, and just seen.
That means all images.
Just attention there. They are all this part has emerged. Then again, one person has come. I see only the part. Very bad, very look ugly. It's like fear to.
Right. So various images. So that means all the perceptions. These are all perceptions, what we call as sanya. So when our meditation object becomes subtler and subtler, so these perceptions can happen. So we need to be careful on this area, because if you give any kind of importance to that, if you get afraid of that, or if you get carried away by that, then we are promoting that. So we need to step back and simply understand, okay, they are merely perceptions, they are merely sanya. So they are merely a mirage, they are not real. So they are not real. So that we need to emphasize that they are not real. I am simply closing my eyes. Then how can I see these things? So they are all mind-made. So that gives them kind of a thing that you are not being fooled by them. You are not taking them as real things. Now if you assume that there is assume that your grandmother already passed away, definitely, right? So assume that her image is now visible. Assume, now if you think, okay, now she has come, maybe she is asking some merit and all that, then you are being caught. So then you are starting a story, you are adding a thought to that, and you are giving kind of a interpretation to why she has appeared. Now you start a story and she again come next time also. So it is not that real she is coming, but your mind know that you are being caught. Definitely this guy is easily being caught by putting this sort of an object. So next time also when there is no particular object, so your grandmother will come. So at that moment we need to understand, okay, my grandmother is gone, I don't want again. I mean, this is mere illusion. This is a mere sanya. So I don't want to carried away by that. So you are simply coming back. So it is not grandmother, it is simply a mirage. simply a mental image. So you need to take that to that level. It's a mere mental image without giving it a name, without putting a kind of a person into it. If so, then you are quite wise, because what happens usually is even in our real life. So typically we get a kind of a little image in our eyes. So that to little image we do a lot of preparations, fabrications, addition of our own likes and dislikes. Then we start going after him or her, and then we want to shake hand. All that is there. But if we can recognize, okay, they are mere sounds, they are mere images, so then we are very much like we are dealing with that in a very refined way. Vijnana and Nama Rupa, so that link is very subtle. So if we are able to operate on this Nama Rupa level, we are able to cut off. So the Vijnana become completely untangled. So it doesn't want to get caught up with anything. So something like that. So next time, as your mind calms down, relax, there is no any significant place to keep. So be aware of these different images. They might appear. If they appear, it is your duty to arouse wisdom. They are merely images. Don't get caught to them. Simply ignore them. Come back to the body, or come back to the breathing, or just, that understanding itself will save you or protect you. Anything else? Everything happened smoothly?
අද උදේ සෙෂන් එකේදීත් ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ දැන් අර විදිහටම මේ ආසස් ප්‍රාසාස නොදැනීම ගියා. නොදැනීම ගියා. ගොඩක් වෙලා දැන් වෙනදට වඩා මම ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේට පොඩ්ඩක් විස්තර කරා මේ නිස්සරණයේදී කඩින් කඩේ තත්ත්වය ආවා කියලා. දැන් අර ඊයේ රෑ ඉඳලා ඊයේ රෑත් පැය භාගයක් විතර ඒ තත්ත්වෙ හිටියා. දැන් අද උදේ
මොකක්ද ඒ තත්ත්වෙ මට?
ඒ කියන්නේ සැරින් සැරේ මට ආසස් ප්‍රාසාස දැනෙන්නෙම නැතුව යනවා. දැන් ඊයේ කන්ටිනියස්ලි මේක පැවතුණා. දැන් අද උදේත් ඒක මම හිතන්නේ පැය භාගයකට වඩා පැවතුණා.
හරි. එතකොට කොහෙද හිත තිබ්බේ? හිත කොහෙද තිබ්බේ?
හිත දැන් මේ මොකද වෙන්නේ කියලා බලාගෙන
ඉන්නවා. හරි.
ඒකට ආසස් ප්‍රාසාස මේ නාස්පුඩුවට දැනෙන්නෙම නැතුව යනවා.
හරි.
දැන් අද උදේ තේරුණ විදිහට මේ උදරයේ පොඩි චලනයක් තියෙනවා කියලා දැනෙනවා. යාන්තම්. ආසස් ප්‍රාසාසයක් මෙහෙට දැනෙන්නෙම නැහැ.
හරි.
මේ ප්‍රාසාසයක් දැනෙන්නේ ආස්වාසයක් විදිහට මේ උදරයේ යන්තම් චලනයක් දැනෙනවා. එච්චරයි. ඒක දිහා දිගටම බලාගෙන ඉන්න පුළුවන්.
එතකොට හිත දිහා බැලුවොත් ඒ වෙලාවේදී හිතේ මොකක්වත්ම නැද්ද?
නෑ මොකුත්ම සිතුවිලි එන්නේ නෑ.
සිතුවිලි එන්නේම නෑ. සක්මනේදී සිතුවිලි එන ප්‍රමාණය?
සක්මනේදී සාමාන්‍ය විනාඩි 40ක් විතර ගියාට පස්සේ මොකද සිතුවිලි එන්නේ නැතුව සක්මනේම ඉන්න පුළුවන්.
හරි.
සක්මන ඉවර වෙලත් ඔහේ බලාගෙන ඉන්න පුළුවන් මොකුත්ම සිතුවිලි එන්නේ නැතුව.
එතකොට හිතන්න දැන් සක්මනේදී සිතුවිලි එන්නේ නැති අවස්ථාවේදී මහත්තයා කොහෙද හිත තියන්නේ? මේ ස්පර්ශයේද තියන්නේ? ඕකේ. ස්පර්ශයේ තියෙන එක වෙහසක්ද නැත්නම් සතුටින් හිත ඒකේ ඉන්නවද? ඉන්නවා.
ඔව්. අර ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ අර නිස්සරණේදී උපදෙස් දුන්න විදිහට ඉවර වෙලා වාඩි වෙලාත් බලන් ඉන්නවා. වාඩි වෙලා ඔය මුකුත්ම හිතන්නේ නැතුව වාඩි වෙලා ඉන්න පුළුවන් පැත්ත ඔය ඈත බලාගෙන.
ඈත බලන් ඉන්න පුළුවන්. ඒතර ඈත බලන් ඉඳද්දි හිත කොහෙද පිහිටන්නේ? දැන් වාඩිලා ඈත බලන් හිටියා. හරි. හිත කොහෙද පිහිටලා තියෙන්නේ?
ඒක කියන්න තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ.
තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ. හරි.
ඒ බලාගෙන ඉන්නවා. ඒක ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ මම සාමාන්‍යයෙන් දැන් ගෙදරදීත් උදේට අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම උදේ පැයක් සක්මන් කරනවා.
හරි.
ඒ සක්මන් කරාම ඒ අර සමාධි ගතිය හිටිනවා දවස පුරාම වගේ. එතකොට අර සාමාන්‍ය වැඩක් ඉවරලා වුණත් මට ඒ විදිහටම ඉන්න පුළුවන්.
හොඳයි. ඒතකොට සාමාන්‍ය වැඩක් කරද්දි මනසේ ස්වභාවය කොහොමද? මනස කියවනවාද? මනස නිශ්ශබ්දද?
නිශ්ශබ්දව ඒ වැඩේට අදාළ විදිහට ඉන්නවා.
ඒ වැඩේට අවධානය දීගෙන ඉන්නවා. හොඳයි. දැන් මහත්තයා මීට කලින් ඒ කියන්නේ විපස්සනා පැත්තක් එහෙම කරලම නැහැනේ. කළාම නැහැ. එතකොට දැන් මෙතන අපි බලන්න වෙනවා චුට්ටක් වෙනම පැත්තකින් යන්න වෙනවා. දැන් මෙතන සාමාන්‍යයෙන් නම් එකක් තමයි ඔක සමාධියක් කරහා දැන් හිත කොහෙට හරි සමාධියක හේතු වෙලා සමාධියක් අසර රිංගගෙන අපිට ඕනනම් සිතුවිලියෙන් නැතුව ඉන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම නැත්නම් අපිට විපස්සනාවක් කරහා ගිහිල්ලා සංස්කාර වල යථා ස්වභාවය තේරලා ඔකේ ඉන්න පුළුවන්. දැන් විපස්සනා නොකර ඔතෙන්ට එනවා නම් අපි බලන්න ඕනේ දැන් මේකේ කොහොමද මේ ආවේ කියලා. එතකොට දැන් එක්කෝ මම ආයි විපස්සනාවක් කරන්න යමු කරන්න ඕනේ. එහෙම නැත්නම් මේක නිකන් අපි අරගෙන ආපු දෙයක් නම් කුසලතාවයක් නම් ඒක එහෙම තව ඉස්සරහට ගෙනියන්නයි තියෙන්නේ. ඉතින් එතකොට මට නිකන් මෙහෙම දැනගන්න. දැන් මහත්තයා සක්මන් කරද්දී වටපිට බල බල එහෙම ඇවිද්දොත් හිත මොකද කරන්නේ? එහෙම කළා නැද්ද?
රූප ශබ්ද දිහාට නම් යන්නෙම නැහැ. මොනවාරි සිතුවිලි ආවොත් විතරයි.
විතරයි. ඒකට කොච්චර දුර දුවනවද?
සිතුවිලි ආවොත් ප්‍රපංච ගෙතීමක් වෙනවා. සාමාන්‍ය ධර්මයට අදාළ දේවල් විතරමයි සිතුවිලි එන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ උදාහරණයක් ගත්තොත් මම නිස්සරණේදී සක්මන් කරද්දී ඔළුවට ආවෙම සිතුවිලි ආවෙම කොහොමද මම මේ වැලි මලුවක් හදන්නේ කියන එක. ඒකමයි වැඩ කරේ. ඉතින් ඒකත් ගිය ගමම කරා. ඉතින් අර ඒ වගේ සිතුවිලි මිසක මේ දාන කටයුතු කරපුවා ඒවා මිසක ඊට අමතරව දේවල් නම් මොකද සිතුවිලි එන්නේ නැහැ.
මහත්තයා දැන් භාවනා කරන්න කලින් සාමාන්‍යයෙන් එදිනදා ජීවිතයේදී මම කියන්නේ හුඟක් කලින් එතෙන්දී කොහොමද හිතේ තත්ත්වය?
හිතේ මම ගොඩාක් කාර්ය බහුලයි ජූලි මාස වෙනකල්ම. දෙසැම්බර් වෙනකම්ම දෙසැම්බර් ජූලි අතර සාමාන්‍ය ඩියුටිස් වල හිටියේ. ඒ කියන්නේ පොඩ්ඩක්වත් මේ විවේකයක් නැතුව පැය 20ක් විතර වැඩ කරපු කෙනෙක් දෙසැම්බර් මාසේ වෙනකම්.
කොහෙද මොකක්ද ජොබ් එක කරේ?
මම කොළඹ මහනගර සභාවේ හිටියේ දෙසැම්බර් මාසේ වෙනකම් ගිය අවුරුද්දේ. ඊට පස්සේ මිනිස්ට්‍රියේ හිටියේ.
හරි. එතකොට සාමාන්‍යයෙන් මනස නිරවුල්ද නැත්නම් මනස ව්‍යාකූලයිද ස්ට්‍රෙස් වෙලාද?
ස්ට්‍රෙස් එකේ හිටියේ ඒ කරන වැඩේම තමයි මනස තියාගෙන වැඩ කරන්නේ කොහොමදත්. එච්චරට අර සංකීර්ණ වැඩ කරේ මේ පොත්පත් වලම වැඩ. මම ඉංජිනේර කෙනෙක් හැටියට වැඩ කරේ අන්තිමට මේ ගොඩක් ලිපිගොනුත් එක්ක වැඩ කරේ.
හරි.
ඒ නිසා අර ඒකෙන් පිට ගියොත් වැඩේ කරන්න බැරිතර. ඒ හන්දර හිත එකතෙන් කරගෙන වැඩ කිරීමේ හැකියාව තිබුණා.
හරි. එතකොට දැන් මනස ගත්තොත් සම්පූර්ණයෙන් එකක්වත් ඔලුවට එන්නේ නැද්ද?
නෑ නෑ මොකොත්
වෙන්නේ නැහැ. හරි. ඕකේ. එතකොට මතක් වුණොත් ඒක කොච්චර ඉක්මනට ඒක හලන්න පුළුවන්ද? දැන් හිතන්න කරපු දෙයක් මතක් වුණා. හිටපු කවුරු හරි යාළුවෙක් මතක් වුණා. මම කරේ ගෙදර දේවල් ගැන මතක් වුණා. අපි දැන් මේ සක්මනේ ඉන්නේ. කොච්චර ඉක්මනට මේක ඩ්‍රොප් කරන්න පුළුවන්ද?
ඒව නම් මතක් වුණ ගමන් ඩ්‍රොප් කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ තත්ත්වෙම අත්හැරලා
තියෙනවා. හරි.
මොකොත් මෙහෙම බැඳීම් ඇත්තෙම නැද්ද?
ඇත්තෙම නැහැ. හරි. එතකොට දැන් එහෙනම් මෙහෙම දෙයක් කරලා බලන්න. දැන් හිතන්න සක්මනේ අපි ඇවිදිනවා කියලා. සක්මනේ ඇවිදිද්දි පාදයේ නොතිය ඉන්න පුළුවන්ද කියලා බලන්න.
හිත.
ඔව්. පාදයේත් නොතිය සිතුවිලිත් දැන් නැහනේ.
ඔව්.
හිතෙත් සංඥා නැහැ.
ඔව්.
එතකොට කොහෙද තියන්නේ? කොහෙද තියන්න නැතිව ඉන්න පුළුවන්ද කියලා බලන්න. ඒ කියන්නේ දැන් අනිශ්චිතයි කියලා දැන් වචනේ අහලා තියෙනවනේ නේ. හිත අනිශ්චිතයි කියලා අපි තත්ත්වයක් කතා කරනවානේ. උපාදාන රහිතයි කියලා තත්ත්වයක් කතා කරනවානේ. ඔන්න උපාදාන රහිත තත්ත්වයට ජම්ප් කරන්න පුළුවන් එක පාටම.
ඒ කියන්නේ සිතවිලිත් නැතුව නිකම්ම ඉන්න පුළුවන්.
සිතවිලිත් නැතුව පාදයට කයට තියන්නෙත් නැතුව වේදනාවක් විශේෂයෙන් ඇත්තෙත් නැතුව හිතත් හරීම ක්ලීන් සංඥාවක්වත් මොකක්වත් නැහැ. නිකන් හිත නිකන් මෙන්න මේ වගේ මොකක්වත්ම ලියපු නැති කොලයක් වගේ. නිකන් හිතන්න A4 sheet එකක් කියලා. මෙලෝඩියක් ලියපු නැති blank A4 sheet එකක් කියලා. ඔන්න ඒ වගේ. එහෙම තියන් ඉන්න පුළුවන්.
ඒ කියන්නේ අපි අර දුර බලාගෙන ඉන්නකොට ඉන්න විදිහට
දුර බලාගෙනමත් නෙමෙයි. හිතන්න නිකන් ඇවිදිනවා. නිකන් ඔහේ ඇවිදිනවා සක්මනේ. ඇවිදිනකොට හැබැයි හිත සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම empty. එහෙම නම් අන්න එක චෙක් කරලා බලන්න වෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ එතකොට ඒ කියන්නේ අපි ගාව තියෙන එහෙනම් මේ හැකියාව. ආයෝක මොට්ට කරන්න අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. ආයි මුලට යන්න අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. මෙතන ඉඳන් යන්න පුළුවන්. අපි දැන් බලන්න ඕනේ නම් මේ emptiness එක මේ තියෙන මනසේ නිර්වුල් භාවය කිසිම සංඥාවකින් තොර ගතිය සිතුවිලි වලින් පවා තොර ගතිය කයේ පවා නොරැඳිච්ච මට්ටම වේදනාවකවත් නොරැඳිච්ච මට්ටම දැන් මට පවත්වන්න පුළුවන්. ඕක පවත්වන්න මට්ටම මහත්යට හදාගන්න පුළුවන් නම් තව කෙලින්ම එහාට යන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොට ඒ කියන්නේ අපි මේ අරන් ආපු දෙයක් තියෙන. ඒ කියන්නේ දැන් අපි මේකද දිනු කරපු යන්නේ මේ අපිට අරන් ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා මේ කුසලතාවය. ඒක අපි ආයි මුලින්ම යන්න දෙයක් නැහැනේ. ඒතර මෙතන ඉඳන් අපිට එහාට යන්න පුළුවන්. ඒකයි. එහෙනම් චුට්ටක් ඕක බලන්න. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ ඔතන කියන්නේ සක්මන් කර කර නිකන් විවේකයෙන් යන්න. නිකන් වටපිට බල යන්න. වටපිට බලද්දී කකුලෙවත් තියන්න එපා. හිත කොහොමද හැසිරෙන්නේ කියලා බලන්නකෝ. හිත ඒ කියන්නේ පේන දේ එක්ක යන්නේ නැද්ද? ඇහෙන සද්ද එක්ක යන්නේ නැද්ද? ගඳක් සුවඳක් එක්ක යන්නේ නැද්ද? රසක් සුවඳක් යන්නේ නැද්ද? දැනෙන ස්පර්ශයත් එක්ක අපි උවමනාවෙන් හිත තියන්නෙත් නැහනේ. දැන් අපි උවමනාවෙන් හිත තියන්නේ එතන. එතනත් හිත තිබ්බේ නැත්තම් හිත නිකන් කොහෙවත් නොපිහිටි තත්ත්වයක් තියනවද? ඔක බලමු. හොඳයි.
ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ ඊට අමතරව අද උදේ ධර්ම සාකච්ඡාවේදී අර ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ කෙනෙක් රේස් කරපු ක්වෙස්චන් එකක් තිබුණා අර මේ පරයන්ක වාඩි වෙලා ඉන්න කොටත් හිස එහෙම ගෙනියනවා මේ ධාතු වල ලක්ෂණ කියලා. ඒකේ ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ මම කලින් පැහැදිලි කළා ඒකේ උපරිමයටම ගිය කෙනෙක් මම නිකන්.
ඔය ඒක තමයි මට මතකයි.
මල් නැටුම් මේ පූජා නැටුම් වගේත් ගියා අන්තිමට. ඒ කියන්නේ මාස දෙකක් විතර හරි අමාරුවෙන් ඒක කන්ට්‍රෝල් කරගත්තේ අර මේ මොකද්ද?
ඒ කියන්නේ ඒකයි.
ත්‍රිලක්ෂණය මෙහෙණි කළාම ඒක පාලනය කරගත්තේ. මේ අද වෙනකොට ඒක හොඳ තත්යකට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. ඒ හැටියට මට මුකුත් කරගන්න බැරි තත් ඊටි ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේගේ උපදෙස් වලින් තමයි ඊට පස්සේ සක්මනට යමු උනේ. ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ ඒකෙදි දැන් වුණත් මම අර සක්මනේ ඉඳලා ආහම පොඩ්ඩක් අර heart speed එක එහෙම වැඩි වෙන එතකොට. එතකොට දැන් වාඩි වෙච්ච ගමන් මේකත් නිකන් කම්මලක් වගේ. දැන් heart එක වැඩ කරනවා. එහෙන් අර මගේ මෙහෙන් දැනෙනවා නාඩි වැඩ කරන එක. ඒ ඇස්සේ පොඩි කම්පන එනවා මෙන්න මෙහෙන්. ඒ කම්පන වලට නම් දැන් හිත යොමු කරපුවා ඉස්සර නම් ඒකට හිත යොමු කරාම ඒක තව වැඩි වෙනවා. දැන් ඒකට හිත යොමු කරලා ඒක පාලනය කරන්න පුළුවන්. පාලනය කරනවද නැත්නම් නිකන් යොමු කරගෙන නිකන් ඉන්නවා. නිකන් ලිහිල් වෙලා යනවා ඒක දිහා බලන් හිටියාම. බලන් හිටියාම නිකන් නැතිලා යනවා. ඔව්. නිකන් තුනී වෙලා යනවා. ඔව්. මේ මෙතන නාඩි වැඩ කරන එකත් ඒ වගේ. නාඩි කලින් හරි. ඒකත් නරක නෑ. දැන් ඒතර ඕන්නම් ඒ වගේ දේවල් බලන්න පුළුවන්. නාඩි වැටෙන එක නිකන් ටට්ටක් ගාලා ඒක වෙනවා. ඒක දිහා හොඳට බලන් ඉන්නවා. ඊට ඒක නිකන් තුනී වෙලා යනවා. හැබැයි ඊට පස්සේ හිත කොහෙවත් නොතිය ඉන්න පුළුවන්ද කියලා බලන්න. මොකද මෙතනත් හොඳ කර්මස්ථානයක් තියෙනවා. දැන් ඒතර අපි මේකේ ඇතිවීමක් නැතිවීමක් බල ඉඳලා. ඒක අඩු වෙනකොටම ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ මේ ආස්වාස ප්‍රාසාසයට හිත යනවා. ඒකෙත් නොදියා ඒක නෑ. උතන දැන් මම අනිශ්චිත පැත්තටයි මම මේ ගන්න හදන්නේ. ඇස් දෙක අරගෙන නම් පුළුවන්. ඇස් දෙක වහපු ගමන් ආසාද ප්‍රාසාදයට හිත යනවා. ඒ දෙක ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ මට කලින් කිව්වා ඔක. ඒක ඒ නිසාම මම උත්සාහ කරා. ඇස් දෙක වහපු ගමන් අර හිත යනවා ආසාද ප්‍රාසාද වලට. ඇස් දෙක අරගෙන නම් ඉන්න පුළුවන්. මොකද හිතන්නේ නැතුව. කමක් නෑ හැබැයි ඇස් දෙක කියන්නේ ඇස් දෙක අරගෙන අපිට අනිශ්චිතව ඉන්න පුළුවන් කියන්නේ ඒක අරට වඩා ඇඩ්වාන්ස්. ඒක වහපු ගමන් කෙලියම මේ ආසාද ප්‍රාසාදයට හිත යන්නේ. එතන අපි නිකන් අර කට් ඔෆ් වෙනවානේ. ලෝකෙම කට් ඔෆ් වෙලා අපි නිකන් අර සෙල් එකක් ඇතුළට ගියා වගේ වෙනවානේ. ඒක නෙමෙයි දැන් හිතේ බලාපොරොත්තු. හිත ෆුල් ඕපන් වෙන්න ඕනේ. තනිකර කියන්නේ බවුන්ඩ්ලස්. ඒ බවුන්ඩ්ලස් ගතිය අපි ගාව තියෙනවා නම් මේක I mean it's a benefit. ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ මට ඒක අහන්න අවශ්‍යතාවය තිබුණේ අර ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ වගේ අර පරයන්කේ වාඩි වුණ ගමන් පොඩ්ඩක් හිස මෙහෙම හිමින්සරේ ස්ලෝ මෝෂන් යන ගතියක් තවමත් තියෙනවා. ඒක මම හිතනවා ඇරලා යයි කියලා. දැන් උතන ප්‍රධාන දේ අදත් අපි උදේ අර කතා කළා වගේ ඩිස්කෂන් එකේදී අපි ගාව ඇතම් කෙනෙක්ගේ يعني සමාධිය මේ මොකද්ද ඕන්ට වඩා වැඩි වෙනවා. ඒක හිතන්න අපි වාහනයක් ඕන්ට වඩා වේගෙන් පැදවුවොත් මොකද අපිට වෙන්නේ? අපේ පාලනයෙන් තොරයිනේ නේද? අපිට බ්‍රේක් ගහ ගන්නවත් බෑ. අපි කියන දේ අහන්නේ නැහැ. වාහනේ සම්පූර්ණයෙන් පිටපැල්ලා ඇක්සිඩන්ට් වෙන එක තමයි වෙන්නේ. ඒකම වෙන්න පුළුවන් යෝගාවචරයට ඕන්ට වඩා වැඩි සමාධියක් ආපු ගමන් එයා නිකන් එයාගේ අතට ගන්නවා අපිව. ඒක එක්ස්පීරියන්ස් වෙන වෙලාවෙම මම අර වහන්සේගේ ධාතුපනසිකාරයේ පොත ධාතුවිභංග සූත්‍රයේ පොතත් කියුවා. ඒ කියුවාම අරක ඒක ගොඩටම වැටුණා. එතකොට මනසට වැටුණා මේක තමයි ධාතුපනසිකාරය කියන එක. ඒකෙන් ඒක වැඩි වුණා තවත්. ඊට පස්සේ අර අවබෝධ කරාට පස්සේ අර අනිත්‍ය මෙනෙහි කළාම මේක මේ ඇති වෙනව නැති වෙනවා කියලා මෙනෙහි කළාම තමයි පාලනය කරගත්තේ. හොඳයි. එතෙන්ට ඉන්න දෙන්න එපා. ඒ කියන්නේ සමාධිය පාලිත මට්ටමක තියෙන්න ඕනේ. I mean සමාධිය කියන එක අපේ මෙවලමක් විතරයි. සමාධියට අපි ඉඩ දුන්නොත් අපිව පාලනය කරන්න ඒ කියන්නේ අර මොකද්ද ගුණාට කලින් මේ කාර්තේ බැඳා වගේ වෙනවා. ඒක හරියන්නේ. හොඳයි. අරක චුට්ටක් චෙක් කරලා බලලා කොහොම හරි පොඩ්ඩක් දැනුම් දෙන්න. හොඳයි. හොඳයි. Thero Samaya.
Report number 3. Most Venerable Swamin Wahansa. One of my sitting meditation sessions, I experienced a situation something like before getting into a deep sleep. Like my eyes were closed tightly. I was able to see the thoughts effortlessly. Thoughts were appeared from time to time. Background is bright at that time. Another meditation session started with watching breath and body sensations. After some time, I experienced a calm state that I can see the thoughts. At that moment, there were no thoughts, but I heard sounds. I knew all the things happening around me without disturbing the meditation. Is it that the first session was effortless due to having more concentration? Also, walking is successful after the sitting rather than before the sitting session. Theruvan Sarana.
May I know who has written this? Yes. So, can you simply jump to without, I mean, so we already discussed a little bit. So, is it a must for you to go through walking and then sitting and then come to the unattached state?
No, I don't need to do walking. That just after sitting, after few minutes, I can start see the thoughts. The first few minutes, I will focus to the body sensation or whatever I feel. After that, I can see the thoughts.
Then thoughts disappear.
Yes.
Then just be.
Yeah, that it's depends on the different experience and different session. Sometimes time to time thoughts appearing.
Right.
And stay calm without anything. I can stay. Then some session it's not in a deep concentration.
Right.
I'm in the surface level.
Right.
And everything I can hear, and I know everything what happening around me.
Right.
But it's not like that. Starting time also I started meditation with hearing sounds. It's not like that. Fully there is nothing. Just thought appear and disappear. It's kind of like that. I can stay like.
So I think this last state that you have explained is something that we need to familiarize, stay there longer and longer, because this still we are very much like stabilizing, or we can consolidating this state. So always this has to be start with very much like a surface level, and it may slowly deepens. And there also we have to carefully handle. It can lean onto one side. There we need to be careful without getting to absorptions, without getting to strict, concentrated state. Rather, it's a kind of a boundless. Nothing is there, sort of relaxed, boundless type of thing. So that's why if I put a kind of reference like this, now before you start, assume that there was a little stress in the mind. After you go through the process of meditation, if that stress is also gone, everything has gone very relaxed, very calm, it's very quiet, you are in almost a very quietude, then you have handled that properly. So your vehicle, you are able to handle it properly. Assume that there was a little stress before you start, and you went through the meditation, but at the end of the meditation, that stress has added another stress. Stress has little developed. Then you didn't handle it properly. During the session, somehow certain things you couldn't balance well, so certain things have added. Like that. So, based on how you are properly, taking care of the mind, that is how we need to go through. So, you have to maintain a very careful attention. It is not some strong attention either. If you are putting too much attention, then that is also generating a little bit of stress. Because now mind is very refined. Not like before. It's very refined, so you don't need too much effort. So almost like effortless you need to maintain. Very, very kind of an effortless way. And certain amount of mindfulness is there. It is also not on a particular object. So mindfulness is there, by the way. It is not talking about the past, not in the future. It is there, but you can't say it is on this particular object. Awareness is there, that's all. So while awareness is there, you can't say that I am aware of this object, but awareness is there. It's a kind of pervaded awareness. So awareness is everywhere, something like that. Hope you are getting. So that kind of awareness you need to maintain now long as possible. Because the first session, it seems you have restricted kind of thing, right? So if it become restricted, just let's expand it. Let it, rather than immersed in it, come out and just stay in the surface, and then slowly allow whatever comes in to disappear. Then you are simply expanding yourself. This thing is that there are two things. So Buddha talks about the samadhi as well as a ceto vimutti. Now say you are practicing metta. In metta meditation, say you consider one person, assume that he is the person, kind of a lovable person, and he is in front of you, and you are paying attention to him, her, and basically her, because we typically take the same sex in this situation. Now then we are again and again applying our mind, may she be well, something like that, and ultimately you are able to generate fair amount of metta towards her, and ultimately you get absorbed it. Now can you say where your mind is now? In that object. So you are fully immersed in it. So it's the jhana. So you have immersed in it, you have absorbed to that particular image, and you have absorbed. Maybe first, maybe second, maybe third, whatever it is. So you are there, basically. You and that object has become one. Now in metta also, there's another thing. Say you can spread metta towards all the beings in the front direction. All the beings. No limit. And then all the beings in your right direction, all the beings in your rear direction, all the beings in your left direction, all the beings in upper direction, all the beings in the lower direction. Now, from the direction point of view, there is no limit. There is no barrier. Everywhere now you are very much like a source of metta. You are spreading metta everywhere. So this is where we are calling it as metta ceto vimutti. So the mind is completely liberated, completely open up, but using metta, you are simply spreading metta. So what we are trying to get through Vipassana is this second, not the first. So that's why we need to carefully go through. So without sort of restricting our attention and paying attention to at this level, so we need to simply let it expand to become boundless.
Sometimes normally it is saying do the walk-in first and then after sitting.
Mm-hmm.
Then for me that if I do the walk-in first, then you told me to check the mind when walking also.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's little bit it's getting out in a certain starting. But if I do the after the sitting, then I can walk without keeping to the any object. Right. Then I can walk and see the mind.
Come on, it's okay. Then you can do that, because thing is you need certain amount of concentration to attain that or simply merge with that. So once it is available, now you can maintain that during the walking, because still, immediately getting it from walking is difficult. So you need fair amount of attention through the sitting, and then you are catching that state through the sitting. At the moment you can go ahead like that, but later things have to be available in the same way, sitting as well as in the walking. It will develop as it is. Yeah.
Report number 4. Most Venerable Bhante, Theruvan Saranai. At yesterday's talk, it was mentioned that we should try to reduce our attachment to family, husband, children, grandchildren. Please tell us how we must practice in order to do this. Do we try to contemplate them as 5 aggregates or 32 parts or elements? Please help Bhante. Thank you. Much merit.
32 parts. Either way is okay. I don't need to say this is the exact practice. All these practices will take you there. If you are taking 32 parts, then internally also you have 32 parts, externally also 32 parts, okay, it will generate certain amount of detachment. If you say you are here elements, there are also elements, that also helps you to have detachment. Or if you even practice Chittanupassana, all these practices will take you there. But if you practice metta, then it's a different story. Say you really love your grandson, and you are practicing metta to grandson. What will happen? You want to get up and hug him quickly. It will take you to a different direction. So that is not the thing. Now here we are trying to more with Vipassana, we are trying to get detached. So if you are practicing Vipassana properly, all that will take you there. Okay.
Report number 5. Venerable Sir, can you please explain what is Vibhava Tanha? How can I avoid that state in my mind? Thank you, Bhante.
No, Tanha, as you know, there are 3 types. Kama Tanha, we all can understand the desires are there for sensual objects. So, Kama Tanha. Bhava Tanha, typically we can say we always not satisfied in the present moment. We always looking forward for a future moment, looking forward for a future event, and looking forward for a future person. Say, I am here but I am unhappy, so I want to be happy in the future. I am here, I am maintaining one job, but my future is a promoted person with a promotion. Say you are a member of the parliament, but you are thinking about being a minister of the parliament, something like that. So you always sort of desired towards a futuristic type of event and futuristic kind of a person. So you desire to become. So this desire to become is, in a subtle way, we can call as bhavatanha. So always driving us towards next moment. That's why the tanha is typically called as the bhavanetti. That is the word driving us towards the next and next moment, so ultimately taking us to even to the next birth. Now, vibhava tanha is very much like you are refusing the present moment, you hate the present moment, you want to get rid of present moment. So whatever the present experience that you are going through, now you want to get out of it. I don't want it. I want to escape from it. So that rejection, the denial is the vibhavatanha. So it's the opposite of, we can't say really opposite also. I mean, it has some relationship. So you are basically rejecting the present experience. You don't want to be in this present experience. So that is vibhavatanha.
Report number 6. My question. As humans, being humans with all of the challenges and experiences of living the life we are moving through, is suffering inevitable? Can we not experience joy, love, happiness, the taste of ice cream without suffering? Is this not what we are here to do?
Yeah, you will reach that definitely. So that's what I mean. It doesn't mean that we are going to say through the practice that we are going to come to a state like zombie state. No, not at all. So instead, you may be able to enjoy the, say, beauty of the nature and everything without any attachment. So that's very beautifully mentioned. Even there are many beautiful verses in Thero. They explain that. So there is, say, probably I have already mentioned that. You know that one excellent monk in the Buddha Sasana, I mean, the great, practiced the Dhutangas. So those Dhuthanga monks are, I mean, they are no nonsense. Venerable Mahakassapa. So he simply in his Theragatha, he simply says, during the night, I see in the front mountain, fireflies are simply flying here and there. It's such a beautiful kind of a scene. So this Arahant is talking about it. It is not that he become blunt after being an Arahant, that he can appreciate this beauty of the nature. But there is no attachment, by the way. That's a different thing. And again, you know that when Buddha, when he was going through his the last days, he's going towards the Kusinagar, and he's saying that this is my last time I see the, Beluva Gama. So beautiful. He's mentioning that. No reservations. He simply said this Beluva Gama is very beautiful. Chaitya Gama is very beautiful. So he has, basically that kind of an appreciation is there. So there is no any kind of a restriction to appreciate like that. But attachment like say, I want it, I own it, such is not there. So that is a different thing. So in that situation we can say, they are the ones really enjoying. So we basically want it. So I have a personal reference. We have a personal relationship. As a result of that, we lose the complete, our experience could be limited. Our experience could be colored or conditioned by our own personal stuff. We are adding our own stuff to this picture. But on the other hand, from the Arahant, so they are not putting their stuff to the picture. So they see the things as it is, without any kind of a deformation, without any kind of a preparation. They are not adding their whatever cultural upbringing, cultural conditioning, or their political conditioning, or their whatever it is. So they are not putting any dirt into the picture. So they see the picture as it is. So whatever beautiful, they can see it is beautiful. Whatever not beautiful, they can see what is not beautiful. And on the other hand, they have another thing. If they want to see something beautiful as not beautiful, that is also possible. If they want to see what is not beautiful as beautiful, that is also possible. If they want to see what is beautiful and not beautiful as equanimous, that is also possible. So they are in full control. That's the beauty. So you can refer, sometimes it's called Arahant Vikurvana. So there's a kind of a special capacity with the Arahants. So they have complete kind of a control over the experience. So with something ugly, if they want, they can see it as a beautiful thing. If something beautiful, they can see it as something not beautiful. If they want to simply see it as equanimous, that is also there. If it is possible, if it is necessary, they can see the beautiful as well. There is one reference called Chalangupekha. You can refer some suttas talking about Chalangupekha. So 6 kinds of equanimity. Six equanimities with respect to eye, ear, nose, tongue, body and the mind. So everywhere, so he can maintain equanimity, and that's a unique feature of an Arahant. So anyway, so they have the full capacity. So there's another very interesting story that one Brahmin teacher, he wants to test the Buddha, and basically he's sending one of his students to test the Buddha, and that student record, he submitted a thesis. You have heard about it, right? Is it? So they submitted a thesis, and that thesis covers telling, okay, Buddha's while eating, so Buddha can go through all the, taste. All the taste Buddha can see, or rather taste. But there is no any Chandaraga to any taste. There is no any greed to any taste. Something like that. So it means that Buddha can recognize all the beauty or taste or whatever it is to the full amount, but there is no attachment. Simple as that. That's all the questions, right? Yeah, if you need to participate in the discussion, feel free, and if you have more questions, please raise your hand. Yeah. But again.
So what you said about Bhavatanha is very clear. That is basically our expectation or next step or something like that. But Vibhavatanha, can you further explain with an example or something like that?
Now say you are poor. You hate being a poor person. And so it's kind of a rejection. Say you are with someone that you don't like. So you don't need this association, you don't like this association, you want to get rid of that association. So there's a fair amount of resistance arising in you. At that moment, what is operating is the Vibhavatanha. So they are fairly interrelated. So because now you are expecting something futuristic, having a good association and kind of a luxurious, a better association, but you are unhappy about the present status, present situation, and you are hating that. So they have the opposite directions. Bhava and the Vibhava, so you are rejecting one experience, longing for a new experience. Two sides of the same coin like.
Can you give another example, please?
say now, what's the saying? What you said? Yeah, that is also there. Say that you feel unhappy of the present life, and you hate present life, so you want to commit suicide. So that is also Vibhavatanha. You want to end it, you need to finish it. I don't want it. Kind of a rejection. So, a strong rejection of the present experience. And then, of course, you may look forward maybe for a new life, a better life. So that is the Bhavatanha is in operation. As you are trying to get rid of this, you hooked up with a new thing, a new one. So always that kind of a linkage is there.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, yeah.
Bhante, actually the first statement was my statement, Bhante. Why I knew that session was exactly like 50 minutes was because like as soon as when I was sitting down, I checked the time, and that particular session, Bhante, like the mind kind of went on its own journey. Like, I mean, it was like, I mean, the thoughts were coming, but
right.
It was not like getting carried away or anything. But at the same time, the session ended like my eyes automatically opened, and it ended on its own accord, like one. So I'm just wondering whether I had much, like if I myself had much to do with it. Like it was like even the body, I could see it as like just physical elements, as not being like kind of not being part of me, like no sense of belonging. But
right.
That session, like it took off by itself and ended by itself. Like so
I think that's the best session maybe. Because basically now the mind has found its own momentum. Now you don't need to put a lot of controllability into it. You don't need to control, but it has its own momentum. Now say, for example, when we are talking the Bojjhangas, so at the first we need a lot of effort. You need to purposely investigate phenomena. So mindfulness is there, maybe little concentration is also there, but you need to initiate this investigation. Again and again you are keeping your attention close to different phenomena and you are investigating. You are keeping your attention toward another phenomena, you are doing the investigation. It's a little difficult. It takes a little bit, I mean, there's a little friction. But anyway, when you are doing it again and again, so mind understands this process, it catches the momentum, and later it takes over. You may simply start it, initiate it, but later now mind is, whenever new phenomena is there, it quickly register there, I mean, simply position the attention there, do the investigation. Assume that it fades away, it jumps to the new, another phenomena, it does the investigation. It does an investigation. So likewise, a continuous investigation is there with the mind's own will. So we don't need to do any kind of adjustment now, because mind has understood the process. Now thing is going on. Now you need less effort. You don't need to put a lot of effort. Now at this level, actually the piti arises. The kind of happiness is there, because you don't need to do much of a control. Things are happening by its own. Mind has understood the very process. So it's a matter of allowing it to happen. And once that momentum is over, it will finish by itself.
So would it have helped, like when you said for Ishanka that to do like metta meditation initially, because metta meditation is not something that I've actually, like I haven't really had a knack for it actually. Same
Metta,
with
no. Metta, we haven't talked about metta. So I just explain her as an example.
Right.
Metta as an example, though, the metta has two sides. That's what I want to explain her. Right. So metta, if we practice as a samatha, where we are absorbing to one object, one particular person, using that we are going to an absorption, that is one side. And when you become kind of boundless metta towards the whole universe, that's the metta ceto vimutti. So these are two categories, two levels of metta. So that's what I want to tell her. So in Vipassana, what we are trying to achieve is the second type. Not in that metta, by the way, this metta ceto vimutti like situation is available in Vipassana as well. We can call it as animitta ceto vimutti, appanihita ceto vimutti, sunyata ceto vimutti. So all these are ceto vimutti, the liberation of mind, freedom of mind. So where there is no limits, your mind has become completely boundless.
And Bhante, it's a bit difficult to explain. It was like the mind is there, then me as a separate, different entity, like as in how can I relate to that, Bhante? Like the mind was kind of doing like the thoughts not being going into proliferation and like being in that state was the mind's own doing like, but then there was me as a third party objective.
You are simply observing.
Yeah, kind of like that. As in me as a different entity, all on its own Bhante. That was the kind of
let it happen.
Perception I got.
Yeah, let it happen further and further. So if things are happening properly, so this observer become depleted. Now you still feel that I am watching it, maybe little bit, but that I am part will slowly diminish, and observation is going on. So the mere observation is going on. You, like an outsider, you simply enjoying the ride. You simply enjoying the ride. You are not trying to control. You are not trying to advise the driver. Because now driver is driving it properly. You don't need to tell him the path. You don't need to tell him the route. He know everything. So you just enjoy the ride. Something like that. So when things are happening smoothly, so we don't need to do much. So you allow it to happen naturally. So you just rest. You become equanimous. The equanimity then only develops because you have nothing to do. Because everything happens smoothly. Everything has taken its proper balance. You don't need to do any adjustments now. Anyway, let it happen further. So I feel there is no issue what you are talking. So things are happening fairly smoothly. So let it happen. If it is something good, something correct, then what you can say is that you are very much like being no one, and things are going on, but it is not samatha, but a kind of vipassana is going on. That's what you are doing. Investigation is there now. Your knowing part is there. So the knowing, investigation, observation is there, but you, like an outsider, simply watch it. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any more questions, please? Or
okay. No more questions. Have?
Bhante, you were just, when you were explaining to this gentleman about the perception, sanya, when you are meditating, something came into my mind. During sleep, you dream of your passed away relatives and all that, and then they
That's
say...
also perceptions.
It's also perception.
Definitely. Rupa sanya ne?
Oh, okay.
Just mere rupa sanya. Just, we have seen someone and it registers. No, when I see you, say, I can register your image in my mind. Later, when I close my eyes, can't I remind about your image?
Yes.
I can.
Yeah.
So that mind has the reflective ability.
Okay.
So you can memorize someone's figure or someone's image, someone's face, etc., etc. So later time, I can recall it. So the Vipassana helps to clear all that, by the way. So don't get into dementia, by the way. So people might think, okay, after Vipassana, I'm going to lose my memory. I won't able to memorize anything. Little bit of dementia also there. But it's into the good side. Because we don't need too much to remind or remember. Okay. So then going to wind up the session. So we have a short sharing of merits. 10th December. Today breakfast dana was offered by Ira De Silva to transfer merits to Tanuja Gunasekara. If he been alive, would have been 47 years old on 2nd December. Today lunch dana was offered by Chaminda and Jayani Abesingha in view of their birthdays on 2nd December and 25th December. Wish them a very happy and healthy life. To transfer merits to the late Mrs. Sujata Abesingha, the mother. Okay, then we are going to conclude the whole session. So we have spent fair amount of time here and practiced to the best of our ability. And some of you have participated in the offering of dana. And all that, whatever the merits that we have accumulated, let's share with all the celestial beings, with all the past relatives, and whoever in need of merits. And we wish these merits help us also to attain path, fruition, nibbana. So we'll recite the traditional verses. Ettavata cha amhehi sambatang punya sampadang Sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavata ca amhehi sambatang punya sampadang. Sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavata ca amhehi sambatang punya sampadang. Sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Akasattha ca bummattha devanaga mahiddika. Punyantang anumoditva cirang rakkhantu sasanang. Akasattha ca bummattha devanaga mahiddika. Punyantang anumoditva cirang rakkhantu desanang. Akasattha ca bummattha devanaga mahiddika. Punyantang anumoditva cirang rakkhantu mamparang. Idang vo ñātīnaṃ hotu sukitā hontu ñātayo. Idang vo ñātīnaṃ hotu sukitā hontu ñātayo. Idang vo ñātīnaṃ hotu sukitā hontu ñātayo. Imina punya kammena māme bāla samāgamo. Satang samāgamo hotu yāva nibbāna pattiyā. Imina punya kammena māme bāla samāgamo. Satang samāgamo hotu yāva nibbāna pattiyā. Imina punya kammena māme bāla samāgamo. Satang samāgamo hotu yāva nibbāna pattiyā. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.